Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. We're going to look at the market briefly. We're going to also look at some shocking recommendations that's coming from the American Bankers Association. This is an association that just 2 or 3 years ago was spewing FUD all the time about crypto. And Wells Fargo, they are all in Bitcoin with their high wealth clients. And Bank of America, can't believe it. They think El Salvador's move is progressive, and you're going to see that there are cryptocurrency ATMs rolling out big time in South America. And at the end, I have a video for you that you'll most undoubtedly agree with me. This is time for another deposition. We have another person who definitely needs to be deposed. All right, the heat map. First, take a look at this. This is quantified crypto. It's very visually telling. You can see we're mostly in the red. But when you mouse over on the far right-hand corner, you can see you get a 7-day, a 30-day, a 1-year, and a trend mean with that particular project. And the mean is where the number will indicate if that project is losing momentum and how it is being traded. You also have the RSI, that is the Relative Strength Index. That is a metric which is a 0 to 100, and it is a measurement, well, easily you can think of it as anything over 50 is bullish. When you have a below 30, there's a lot of sell pressure. When you have anything above 70, it's an indication that it's probably overbought. So you can see here that the Bitcoin RSI is at 36, and if we take a look at XRP, the RSI is at 47, a little bit better. So if you are not one that likes to go deep with analysis, I think this is a really great tool for you. If you like to go deep, then I'm going to recommend stick with Glassnodes. They go very much into the weeds, and you can see here that the transfer volume in the last 7 days is up 94%. What that means is there's a increased demand for on-chain block space. More people are using the network, and I think that is only going to increase because we have this surprise announcement coming from the American Bankers Association. Unbelievable. Banks are to forge partnerships with crypto firms. This is a new report that's 20 pages long, and it outlines the way banks can improve their revenue, like crypto custody, DeFi interest, payments, broker-dealer, decentralized insurance. Unbelievable. We would have never seen this just a couple of years ago. And on August 3rd, we have this article that Wells Fargo is offering Bitcoin to its high wealth clients. And Bank of America outlined 4 potential benefits of El Salvador's Bitcoin strategy, calling it a progressive touch. It's so surprising, and you have to pay attention of what's going on because the company Athena is rolling out 1,500 machines to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, BCH, or Litecoin throughout El Salvador, and they have forged a partnership with Walmart. Wow. Okay, from Attorney Jeremy Hogan's wife, Thimphu Hogan. She is really, really sharp. And she broke down this bill that was introduced by Representative Don Beyer. And I thought, wow, this is a great bill. And I reached out to Ron Hammond, who is the Director of Governor Relations on the Blockchain Association. He's really in the know, and he's very responsive too, and he really is one that can help anytime you have a question. I said, is there any insight he could give us on what kind of support this bill has, or how long it might take, and what else we should know in in seeing it go forward. Well, he said the buyer bill has been largely finished for 3 years. And so I didn't know that. It's something that's been around for a few years. It was just again introduced. He said that he was approached to lead it when he was still working on the Hill and said no. Many other offices also said no, both Republicans and Democrats. Representative Buyer isn't on a relevant committee, so I guess that really matters. And there are too many elements in that bill. It's not going anywhere. So that's unfortunate, but it is nice to know that we get the straight scoop from Ron. And he's always happy, he says, to help. All efforts are currently, right now, focused on the infrastructure bill, as that is 100% moving forward and has some pretty drastic consequences for the industry. Well, it is pretty drastic. I talked about it a couple of days ago, and here we have the ranking member, Pat Toomey, Republican out of Pennsylvania. He released a statement, and this is hopefully going to have some impact. He said that Congress should not rush with this hastily designed tax reporting regime for cryptocurrency, especially with a full understanding of the consequences. By including an overly broad definition of broker, the current provision sweeps in non-financial intermediaries like miners and network validators and other service providers. I mean, even if you were just going to build a crypto wallet, for example. Moreover, these individuals never take control of a consumer's assets and don't even have the personal identifying information needed to file a 1099 with the IRS. Simply put, this text is unworkable, and he plans to offer an amendment to fix it. So I think Americans really need to give big support to the representative here from Pennsylvania, Pat Toomey. Okay, so do your part to help this guy stop that wording in the bill. And so if you are looking to what Gensler is saying, there was his first extensive interview in this Bloomberg Asia article today. And he did say some interesting things, like he's not neutral about investor protection, but he is neutral on technology. And he says it's okay if somebody wants to speculate, that's their choice, but he feels that they have a role to protect the investors against fraud. Well, what's interesting is in the SEC versus Ripple, there is no accusation of fraud. So that has a disconnect. And he also has asked Congress to pass a law that could give his agency the legal authority over exchanges. And he also is quoted as saying in this article, "I've asked the staff to use all of our authorities anywhere we can." Well, we are definitely seeing his colors. And if you want to hear that speech in the live, you can register for it. It's going to be a Zoom meeting, and there's the day 1 and day 2. I've registered for both. Day 1 is Gensler, and day 2 is Brad Garlinghouse. So I hope that that you have a chance to register and listen to it firsthand. And so when we just take a look at a video I found, boy, oh boy, oh boy, I think we need another deposition here. So we know that we've been told that the SEC and the CFTC work together. These two agencies supposedly work together. Well, Hinman, with his speech on Ethereum back in June 2018, the CFTC didn't make any statement and didn't say anything for 16 months, not until October 10th, 2019. And when you hear the chairman, then Tarbert, make his comment for the first time in a public statement, he specifically says it is in his opinion that Ethereum is a commodity. You just can't believe this. Have a listen.
We've been very clear on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a commodity under the Commodity Exchange Act. We haven't said anything about Ether until now. It is my view as chairman of the CFTC that Ether is a commodity, and therefore it will be regulated under the CEA. And my guess is that you will see in the near future Ether-related futures contracts and other derivatives potentially traded. So you're hearing this all for the first time. This is first time Yahoo Finance breaking news. Breaking news. It's my conclusion personally,
do you hear that? It's my conclusion personally,
chairman of the CFTC, that Ether is a commodity and therefore would fall under our jurisdiction. Why a commodity, though? So the commodity definition is very broad, as I mentioned, and the way that it works is most things are commodities, particularly financial contracts or stores of value. Securities are commodities, but they're kicked out the way the statute works, and the SEC regulates those. So as long as it's not a security, it basically falls within the definition of a commodity. And I would encourage all of you, to the extent you have time, the SEC has gone through and essentially laid out an analysis of when a crypto asset is a security or not. So it's a very interesting test, but essentially, if it's being used as an investment and you're making an investment in a crypto asset, and that crypto asset is a common enterprise, and you think you're going to derive profits from the work of others, as opposed to the intangible value of the crypto asset itself, then it's more likely to be a security. This is the Howey test. In 1946, it was a landmark SEC case that kind of determined the framework for what a security is. We've been very...
I'm just speechless. Just speechless. All right, everybody, we're jumping to the fluff, and I had spent a little bit of time on the Airbnb Japan website because they show some really fantastic places that you can rent. They showcase some of the coolest homes throughout Japan that have just amazing amenities and amazing views. This is one that caught my eye because I thought the deck was just really nice with the cutout for the trees. And there is one that has this view from the bedroom window. Unbelievable. But there is a new trend called Mushi Mushi. These rooms are popping up in the Shibuya Harajuku area. They are very popular with girls, and there are people that are decorating these rooms to be very cute, or kawaii, as we say. So here is an example of one Mushi Mushi category, and this one really takes the cake. Not cheap, like $350 US per night, but there's a high demand and lots of pics, of course, on Twitter for girls' parties inside these Mushi Mushi rooms. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.